Welcome to the Bhaktivedanta Vedic Library, where cooking for Krishna is an act of bhakti yoga. Today, we're going to show you how to make kofta balls with a nice tomato cream sauce. As always, cleanliness in Krishna's kitchen is most important. In fact, we don't even taste or smell the food while preparing it. This helps to make the entire process a spiritual meditation. Here's the ingredients we'll need to make Krishna's kofta balls and tomato cream sauce. A half a head of cauliflower, coarsely chopped. 1 small potato, coarsely chopped. Half a cup of chopped cilantro. 3/4 of a cup of chickpea flour. 1 teaspoon of asafoetida, also called Hing. A half a teaspoon of turmeric. 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne. 1 teaspoon of salt. And 1 teaspoon of cumin powder. For the tomato cream sauce, you'll need 8 small Roma tomatoes, half a cup of ghee, 1½ cups of sour cream, a half a cup of water, 1 teaspoon of brown mustard seeds, 2 teaspoons of asafoetida, also called Hing, 1 teaspoon of salt, and a half a teaspoon of black pepper. We're going to get started with a food processor. First, cauliflower. Pour them right in. Potatoes, right in with the cauliflower. Fresh coriander. 3 fresh ingredients straight in to your food processor. Put the top on, click it into place. We want to get these ingredients ground medium to fine. We'll have a look. Take out our blade, put it aside, remove our food processor, and we're going to take this blend of ingredients and pour it in our mixing bowl. A fine blend of cauliflower, potatoes, and fresh coriander. The next step is adding all your spices and chickpea flour to the mix. Chickpea flour, asafoetida or Hing, turmeric, ground cumin, and cayenne pepper. And lastly, our salt. Now we're going to mix this up, get all the spices in there. We're going to mix that all together. And you're going to want to watch this because we're going to roll them into balls before we fry it. So we want this to be able to stick together when we roll it. That might require that you add a few drops of water. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. And the way you know is you roll one into a ball. And if it stays together, you don't need any water. And if it don't, add a little water. So we have our mixture here and we're ready to roll it into balls. It's really simple. You just take a little in your fingers, into the palm of your hand, work it a little bit, roll it around like that, you have a nice little ball. The balls are about 1.5 inches to 2 inches. You can make them bigger. The smaller you make them, the quicker they'll cook. So they hold together. If they hold together like that, they're going to fry nicely. So our mixture is done. We've rolled them up quickly. We're doing the last one. We're about to take them over to the deep fryer. So we have a pot of ghee on a medium-high flame, and we're about to deep fry the kofta balls that we just rolled. So we're going to take our kofta balls, one at a time. We're just going to drop them into the hot ghee. You'll see bubbles start forming around them right away. They're cooking as soon as you get them in. The idea is you don't want the ghee to be too cold, because if the ghee isn't hot enough, then the kofta balls will start breaking up. So you want your ghee nice and hot. And as you're putting the kofta balls in, that's cooling down your ghee. So make sure your flame is at a good temperature, at least till they get settled. And when you're deep frying in ghee, you basically want to fill it up. So we're going to put all of these kofta balls into this batch of ghee. They're all in the hot ghee, and the kofta balls will deep fry for approximately 10 minutes. You don't want to start to stir them too early so that they break up. So let them fry for a little bit and get firm. So our kofta balls have been in the ghee for about 4 minutes. We have some beautiful round kofta balls coming out nice golden colored. In 3 or 4 minutes, they'll be ready to add to the sauce and offer to Lord Krishna. So our kofta balls have been deep frying for about 10 minutes. You can see now they're rich brown golden color. They're ready to come out. So there you are. The kofta balls are cooked. They're ready to be mixed into the sauce and offered to Lord Krishna. So now we're going to make the tomato cream sauce for Krishna's kofta balls. Right now in this bowl we have 8 Roma tomatoes that have been cut up and seeded. They're coarsely cut. We're going to put them in the blender and blend them into a sauce. Along with our tomatoes, we have a little bit of water in case we have to loosen up the mixture to blend it. So we have our blender ready. We have our Roma tomatoes. Drop them into the blender. We're going to add our half a cup of water to our Roma tomatoes. Cover the blender and begin to blend them. And there they go. So basically, you've blended the tomato and water mixture into a fine sauce. You can see that water helped the tomatoes get going. So we've blended our tomatoes and we're ready to cook our sauce. This is a very simple tomato cream sauce. First thing we do is turn on the flame and we add our ghee. The ghee's hot in the bottom of the pot. Now we add our mustard seeds. The mustard seeds have been in the hot ghee for about a minute and they're popping. That means they're ready to go. The next thing we add after the mustard seeds is powdered asafoetida, also known as Hing. Now this is a powdered spice, so it pretty much cooks instantly. Put it in there, just stir it around with the mustard seeds, and the asafoetida is cooked. After the asafoetida, touch of black pepper. After that, we have our blended Roma tomatoes. We're going to pour that right in. Our blended Roma tomatoes have been poured directly into the ghee and spices. We're just going to stir that around a little bit. These tomatoes will be cooking now for about 10 to 15 minutes. So our tomatoes have only been cooking for 3 or 4 minutes, but you can see they're boiling. It's thickening up already. And this is only going to cook for another, 5 to 10 minutes, and we're going to add our other ingredients. So Krishna's tomato cream sauce has been cooking for about 10 minutes. Now we're going to add the final ingredients and cook it for another 5 minutes. Salt, butter, and here is why we call it tomato cream sauce, sour cream. We're going to let it cook for another 5 to 10 minutes. It's been 5 minutes since we added the sour cream to the creamy tomato sauce. You can see it's thickening up, beautiful smooth texture, nice and thick, nice and creamy. This sauce is now ready to be offered over the kofta balls to Lord Krishna. Practicing Bhakti Yoga means to make an offering in love and devotion. We're about to make such an offering of kofta balls and tomato sauce to Lord Krishna. Thank you for joining us here at the Bhaktivedanta Vedic Library, and until next time, Hare Krishna.